What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My goal is to help inspire you to make the changes in your daily habits that allow you to walk, talk, and breathe like a champion. Subscribe below so you guys don't miss any of the content. You're only one small change away from creating all the success that you deserve. Being a champion's a choice. The rest is up to you. I'll see you guys soon.
What's up, guys? I just finished off an amazing wrestling practice with my team, and now I'm on the road. And I'm going to take care of some stuff. And I want to talk about confidence before I have to jump on a call. I'm working on a book that I'm writing on. But before I do that, I want to talk about confidence. You know, confidence is one of those things that people think just happens. You know, for me, confidence is something that really did take a very long time to develop. And I'm one of those people that my entire life, I have struggled with having confidence. The understanding that I could do something, the belief in myself being able to outdo other people, and confidence, it really is a skill set that you have to develop. It's not something that comes overnight. The way I learned how to develop my own personal self-belief, it was through years and years of just digging myself through dog shit over and over again, and self-doubt, and the way I talked to myself through inner dialogue. It became a problem, to be honest. It was just a complete problem. Some people are born with a natural gift to be able to say, hey, you know what, I can do this. I wasn't that person. I literally had to fake it my entire life. You know, most people know my story, that I was bullied, I was beat up, and I could have made every excuse why it was impossible for me to ever be able to achieve anything. And little by little over the years, I just decided that I was sick of it. I was sick and tired of failing and telling myself that I can't do this, or this person's better than me. And when I started to realize, and now here it is, here's the piece. When I started to realize that I was not in competition with anybody else but myself, when I realized that detail, everything started to change, because it was no longer about what other people saw me as. It was no longer about what other people thought my capabilities were. It came truly everything about what I saw myself as. Now, coming into that stage when you really don't see yourself as very, very much, is a hard thing. But what it does do, it gives you a very base bottom floor of where to start with. Then I started being able to say, okay, this is where I'm at. Maybe today I can do better than I did yesterday. Tomorrow I'll do better than that. Now, how did I do that? I started doing that by writing down the small victories, because I didn't realize that every day I actually had opportunities in front of me that were allowing me to grow. I had victories, little tiny things like today I hit a double leg, or even as silly as today I saved $20. You know, those little things are actual small victories if it's not things that you were doing before. But the problem is, we see these small victories as insignificant. We want these massive changes. We want these giant goals. We want these accomplishments that we see others achieving. But the reality is, how can we achieve those if we can't even accept our small victories? So what I started to do is I started keeping notebooks with me, and I've done this for years. Most of you have followed my notebook sessions, and I write down everything now. I take the small victories and I write it down, because I want to give myself that pat on the back for making my bed in the morning. I want to give myself the pat on the back, so that way I know that I saved a little bit of money today. I changed my credit. I woke up earlier. I didn't watch TV. All those little things are small victories that all of a sudden can lead to that change of, oh my God, I won my first tournament. Oh my God, I bought my first car. Oh my God, I bought my first house. These are all the things that changed because you started giving yourself the small victories. The small victories are the little milestones that we need that lead to the big ones. And every time we add a small victory in, it builds a little bit more confidence. Man, I feel good. I did something today. And then you look back and review those small victories like, wow, look at everything I accomplished today, this week, this month, this year. And then you start looking at it like, wow, I really did accomplish a lot. And then you start seeing the way you see yourself change. The inner dialogue starts to change. The way you carry yourself. Other people even start changing the way they talk to you, the way they talk about you. And then you get closer and closer to achieving these big goals. And once those things really start taking form, you realize that, wow, I'm not in competition with anybody else other than myself. You start seeing things differently. Your approach to everything becomes different, because it's not about trying to impress anybody else. It's not about trying to take the opinions of others and match what they think your capabilities are. It's truly about, what are you trying to get out of what you put in? You know, you want to go to a practice? All right, give it your all. Give yourself an ability and a chance to get 1% better. Now you're allowing yourself to start building your confidence. You're changing the inner dialogue. You're getting rid of that inner bitch that has been there for so long. Trust me, I know this is what I dealt with for so many years. There's no way I can beat that guy. With that attitude, you're right. Impossible. What separates between you and him is that he believes that he can beat you because he believes in himself. If I do not believe that I can do it, then I am 100% right. Every single time. And that's the truth. If you do not believe that you can do something, you will always 100% of the time be right. Just the way it is. Confidence comes by putting yourself in an environment that you don't know the results but are willing to take the chance of failure. You might surprise yourself. And even if you do fail, you might realize that, wow, I did way better than I thought I was going to. Now, you're breaking the habit of not willing to take risks. Now you're willing to take risks. Once you become willing to take risks, you get closer and closer to doing achievable things while taking risks. Everybody likes to play it safe. And when you play it safe, you're never going to go out of your comfort zone. For me, it's funny because when I used to compete in wrestling, I'm talking high school and college, that I was willing to put myself out there and compete. But every single time I went against somebody that I knew was going to be dangerous, I would beat myself before the match even started. And this would be something that I would get plagued with for many years because I knew that I could beat the guys that I was supposed to beat. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't beat the bigger guys, the better guys, the guys that on paper that were the monsters. And it was simple. The answer at the end of the day was simple. Was because they believed they could beat me and I didn't believe I could beat them. Which is funny because they hadn't competed against me. I had never competed against them. So how do you really know who's going to win? Until you both go out there, and if you both have the belief that you can go out there and give the best that you can do, then we'll see who can win. And the better person won that day. It has no results of what happened will happen the next time. You beat me today, cool. I'm going to go back, make the adjustments, and I'm going to do it again. But if we have a defeatist attitude, oh, I knew this was going to happen. That's exactly what I expected. Well, yeah. You guaranteed yourself your failure before going into it. But little by little, the more we allow ourselves to make those changes, the more we allow ourselves to take risks, the more we put ourselves in an environment that are conducive for us to grow, get beyond our comfort zone, everything starts changing. And then over the years, slowly by slowly, my confidence started getting bigger. My self-belief started getting brighter. And then I started doing things that in the past I would have never been able to achieve. I started winning world titles. I started competing against the best guys in the world. And all of a sudden, I'm excited about everything that I'm doing. And this didn't happen overnight. This didn't happen in a year. This didn't happen in 5 years. This was an evolution of 15, 20 years of competition. You know, I think one of the things that people want is they want the results overnight. And you got to understand, when it comes to building confidence, when it comes to building self-belief, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's no way it's just going to happen. It's impossible. You need to understand that it's going to take time. But have patience and just know that little by little you're going to get there. As long as you do not quit, your confidence will start to grow. Your self-belief will be there. Your inner dialogue will start saying, yes, I can. And then one day you'll realize that you have been doing it. But you gotta give yourself the ability to grow into it. You gotta give yourself the chance. You gotta be willing to fail over and over again. Because those are the building blocks that will allow you to have the successful moments that are gonna build into the belief habits that are gonna create the cycles so you could start the process of believing in yourself. Because if you do not believe in yourself, nobody is going to. It's that simple. And that's what we got to do. We have to understand that we need to find the ways of believing in ourselves. I've had to do that, and it took me a very long time to get there. But now I understand. And if I can do it, so can you. Remember, being a champion is a choice, but you got to be willing to do the steps no matter how long it takes.
I just got here in Las Vegas, and today I really want to talk about the difference between obstacles and opportunities. There's so many of us, especially in a time right now, that are stuck on the fact that things have changed. There's so many obstacles, there's so many hardships, things don't make sense, and we cannot find the opportunity that's lying right in front of us. Especially in the fight game right now, there really are no fights